Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. I like all the actions you take within this community. I do appreciate it. I'm going to do my best to stay consistent and continue delivering you some videos, topic, heat, whatever you want to call it, that we can sort of get involved in. It's not always going to be style. It's not always going to be mindset. Who knows what it's going to be? But it's going to be something that we can all engage in, that we can all relate to. Hey guys, I'm back again, back with another video. I told you I'm going to try and be a bit more consistent. Now, in this one, it's going to be short and sweet. I've got three tips to being a superior version of yourself, to being a superior man, to being the type of man. Do you know what? I've gone off track. But it's 3 tips to being a superior man, part 2. One important thing to bear in mind in relation to this video and the video I put out previously in regarding to being a high value person or high value man is the angle at which I'm coming from, because this can be misconstrued very easily. Now, it's not about becoming superior to be better than people, because that to me is just another sign of insecurity. This isn't about anyone else, it's just about you. It's about just being the superior being that you were born to be. Like, we were born great. We were born already who we are, who we're meant to be, already a blessing to this life. Now, ultimately, as we've grown up, as we've gone through things, we've taken on extra baggage that's given us these complexes that's made us not be our superior self. So when I talk about being a superior version of yourself, I'm simply referring to shaking off negative behaviors that make you less of who you already are. That's it. It's all about balance. Now, for example, you have some people that go around just openly thinking, look, I'm inferior. And they express it, they tell other people, they tell it to themselves all the time. But then on the opposite side, you have people who constantly are striving for perfection. Now, they may not be saying they are inferior, but by very nature of you striving for perfection, you are saying that you are not good enough. You see how that works? So ultimately, it's about having a balance. It's about understanding that you're all right. It's about understanding that when you do certain things in life repetitively, you will get better anyway. Inevitably, you will. So if you're doing things you enjoy, let's say, for example, you enjoy playing football and you play football every day, or you play it every week, or you play it consistently, whether it's every month or whatever it is. If you do that consistently, you will get better. That's inevitable. And there's nothing wrong with getting better. We're all here to grow, whether it's physically, spiritually, mentally, creatively, whatever parameter you want to look at, we are going to grow, because that's exactly what nature does. Look around you. Everything tends to grow. Well, everything living anyway. In summary, being a superior version of yourself is returning to the greatness that you are already born with. You are already enough. Now, one of the things that I often see in terms of when we're talking about high value men and superior men is that it's all about your securities, your insecurities, securities about yourself, who you are, what you think you should be, and who you actually are, right? I've spun around in so many words, but these are 3 tips to make sure you're staying ahead of that insecurity game, right? To make sure that you're feeling secure in yourself and you're not making decisions that are based upon your insecure nature. Rule number 1, boasting about the amount of women you've slept with. Now, it might sound impressive when you're like 15 or 16-year-olds, even if you're making it up and it's not even true. But as a grown man, it has no place. If you want to be secure in who you are, boasting about your personal life and your personal escapades, it doesn't really mean anything. But what it does do is it hurts the person that you do talk about. This, for me, falls into the bracket of putting others down to lift yourself up. And ultimately, I just think this behaviour is incredibly weak. You may not be saying it to the person's face, so you may feel like, oh, well, if they're not hearing it, how am I putting them down? But you're putting them down to somebody else, to appear strong in front of somebody else. And the problem with that, for me, is you're not actually elevating yourself. All you're doing is putting somebody else down so you could feel like you're bigger, rather than just elevating yourself. Now, the funny thing about this type of brag is that nobody's impressed. I mean, the person you're telling to might say, yeah, they might smile in your face just to appease your story, but they're not actually impressed by it. Well, not anybody who's secure in himself anyway. I feel like the type of person that would be impressed, that would genuinely be impressed by it, is also suffering from those same insecurities that you are. Look, the way I see it is this, and I can't remember who I heard say this before. It's someone's gonna, I'm sure, put this in the comments, or someone's gonna remind me, but someone said this, like, if you want to have the tallest building in the city, you can either go about it in two ways, right? You can either build the biggest building in the city, or you could just knock down every other building. Like I mentioned before, it's all about growth. Life is growth. Everything that's living is growing. And if you're knocking everybody else down just to be the biggest, then you're not growing. That's just an analogy. I'm in no way insinuating that anyone should try and go out there and be the biggest or the tallest or the fastest or the greatest. If you train hard at anything and you enjoy a discipline and you put yourself to the test, and let's say at some point you are the biggest, strongest, fastest, or whatever that may be, then so be it. It is what it is. But that's not necessarily the achievement. The achievement is your consistency, your growth, and your enjoyment in that present moment. You doing something that you enjoy consistently to the point where you're recognized. Number 2 is posting money or showing off wealth online. There's nothing wrong with showcasing who you are, but literally pulling all the money out of your banking and savings accounts, throwing it on the bed and taking a picture is just ridiculous. Those are the things that we need to definitely leave behind. When I see people brag about what they have, whether it's verbally or whether it's just visually, whether they're posting pictures or whether they're actually telling you or putting in captions or whatever it may be in this modern day society, bragging about what it is they do. So perhaps it's even a humble brag, like, oh man, I have to fly so much, you know, work sending me here, oh my god, work sending me to Barbados again, oh, poor me. Listen, the humble brag as well is just as bad, but look, whatever people brag about, what they do, what they have, who they think they are, right? They're trying to set up a smoke screen as if to say, hey, look over here, look over here, look over here. So then you don't realize who they really are because they think who they really are isn't good enough. As long as I can keep your attention over here, oh, look how great I am, I feel better because it's all about what this person thinks. And that in there lies the problem. Caring so much about what somebody else thinks that you have to now start bragging and boasting about achievements. You have to brag about an achievement. You then have to question yourself, what was that achievement really for? Was it for you or was it for everybody else? Number 3 is neediness. Now, what do I mean by neediness? Neediness is by putting anybody in your life on a pedestal. And I mean anybody. Now, ultimately, there are people that you're going to value. There are going to be people that you respect. However, let's say, for example, if you meet a girl tomorrow, you don't know her from anywhere. She's not proved herself to you, and yet you've put her on a pedestal. That's the one. Oh my God, my life will be over if I never speak to her again. These are the things that you need to overcome because ultimately, we're all just human beings. You have to have security in yourself and be secure in who you are and understand that you have value to bring to the table. Whenever you meet someone and you're trying to build or establish a relationship, it's a two-way street. So there's no such thing as a pedestal. It's a case of you bring your best game and I'll bring mine. And let's see if we meet in the middle. This, to me, is the same mechanism as number 1. But this time you're putting yourself down. You're the type of person that openly expresses the fact that they're not good enough, openly expresses to themselves that I'm not good enough. Whether it's subconsciously or consciously, you openly just do this all the time. For example, you're the type of person to walk into a room and just bow down to everybody. And they haven't even done anything. You don't really even know who they are, but you're just bowing down. It's not like they're royalty. You just bow down because I don't belong here. And this is one of the things that I've had to work on like many years back. I was walking into certain rooms and just thinking, I don't belong here. Like this, everyone here is so accomplished. I don't belong here. But listen, by very virtue of you being in that room, you belong. That's exactly where you're supposed to be at that point in time. Accept it, embrace it, and stand in your greatness. That's all it is. And that when I say, again, like I said, stand in your greatness doesn't mean that somebody is less than or somebody else is more than or less than or whatever. It's not comparable to anybody else. It's all about you. Stand in your greatness means just be who you are, express who you are, and enjoy the moment. And that's it, really. Ultimately, those are the 3 tips that I've got to give to you today. Let me know if you agree. Do you agree or disagree? I'm not offended. At the end of the day, it's all an opinion. This is mine. What's yours? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And yeah, I'll get back to it. I'll respond to you guys. Let's see how it goes. The way I'd summarize and link all three of these points together is that if you can find that center point, that balance, where you can focus on yourself and you can spend time on you and understand that you are good enough and be happy in that moment, in that present moment, then for me, I believe that it makes for purer connections with other people. That's when you really start to enjoy life. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Please like, subscribe, comment and share. Peace. I'll see you guys very soon. As back again, I've got another one here. Look, I'm looking a bit more casual, but I'm not even casual. I've got a shirt and tie on, doesn't even matter. But